frustrating is it in big games like these? You're rolling, and then kind of sputters in the fourth quarter because game plan has to change. How frustrating is that?
I mean, it's always frustrating, but I mean, of course, if we would have come out to win, everything would be okay. So it's just finding that fine line of making plays on the ground, through the air, and defense just continuing to play strong, play tough. We got to play complementary football.
What's it going to take to pull out of this offensive rut you guys been in just these past couple of weeks? Because we've seen you guys, whether it's last year, early this year, get explosive. So how do you get back to some of that?
Really, it's going to come down to us. One, definitely in practice. You got to be able to first visualize it in practice, then you got to go execute it at practice. But then whatever you need to do to make it translate over to Sunday, whether that's extra film or whether that's more visualization or whether that's just self-talk, whatever it is, you got to get it to transfer over to Sunday. But it starts first at the beginning of the week, starting tomorrow.
Do you guys hear when it's not going well with the crowd boos? Do you hear that? And do you understand it? Or you
okay, no, I heard. I didn't know what they. So you think that was us? That was probably. I don't know. I heard. I'm like, dang, they booing.
Just because the offense not getting it.
Yeah, okay, but that makes sense. You're like, man, like we're not doing anything. Okay, I get it. I heard that, and I wasn't quite. I'm like, is that us or is that them at the defense coming out? Well, but hopefully it wasn't us because that would suck for sure. Sheesh.
Joe, obviously just getting used to him still. How have you guys been able to adapt and just sort of get used to his style out there now a few games in?
First, like I said, it starts in practice. So we get a ton of looks in practice. So just being able to know, okay, certain schemes that we have up, where is he looking first? Let's say things break down. Is he looking down the field? Is he looking, few yards down the field? So just being able to keep those things in mind and then knowing and understanding that on Sundays, like, okay, I remember this scheme in practice. It's breaking down. Okay, I know kind of what Joe is thinking, or you have an idea of what he may be thinking. And that's something that we just got to continue to do, continue to build that chemistry, that relationship, not only myself, but everybody on the offense.
What's the big message to this group? Obviously, three straight losses. You guys lost 3 last year and then won 4 straight after that. What's the message to this group?
Stay the course, like you mentioned. Then we won 4 straight. It's definitely tough to do, but you can definitely go on a heater, But everyone has to be on one page, one accord throughout the entire week, and then Sunday, we just got to come out with a win. Like I said, whatever it takes for us to execute those plays in critical times, that's what's going to allow us to go on another 4-game win streak.
What's been most frustrating about this 3-game skid?
Really, because you have the pieces. You just look at it and you're like, we have the guys, we have the pieces, we have the guys that work. It's one thing to have the pieces, and then I have the guys that work. We have the guys that work each and every single day, every time they come in that building. So you just wanted to translate on Sundays. And it's a fine line, a couple plays here and there. It's a game of inches.
So when you say you have the pieces and the guys are working, but it goes to practice, I guess what needs to be different in practice? Because it doesn't sound like a work effort for them.
Exactly. That's why whatever you got to do to get it to translate to Sunday, you have to do whatever you personally have to do to get it to translate to Sunday. To make those same plays you made in practice, that's what you have to do. You have to give it everything you have every Sunday.
JT, AD has a career day today. Obviously, rough start to him for the season, but just how have you seen him just grow over the course of this year?
Yeah, I've seen him throughout the course of this year. I mean, even at practice, his releases, his routes that he runs, it's like you can see it. You just like every time he releases off the ball, you're like, oh, you see that move right there? So I'm glad that, of course, he had a career day today. I wish it would have followed up with a win, but I'm excited to see him to continue to grow and build on a day like today.
But he scores on his birthday too. How cool is that?
Yeah, that was awesome. I was actually excited. We called that play. I'm like, this got to be a touchdown. This has to be a touchdown. What's a better birthday gift than a touchdown, except, of course, a win?
How big is the adjustment in pass protection between, two vastly different starters and Anthony and Joe? How different does pass protection become in that instance?
Well, definitely you don't know where your defender is going to go, especially, if you got a mobile guy back there, he starts rolling out. You can't see him rolling out, so now you're setting up one way, and then your guy either dips inside or dips outside. So that's something you definitely have to be aware of and realize, like, hey, this guy can change his trajectory at any time, depending on what the guy behind me does.